Well, morning. Got an owner-operator loading in front of me. If you look just over the mirror, there's a flow boy. He's gonna load ahead of me. So we're gonna be sitting here for about 20 minutes or so. Oh, might as well shut the truck off and save some fuel, right? Well, we're definitely cranking out the mix today. It's what, 9:45 a.m. and this is my third load for the day. It helps that we're on the main line, so it's just one straight non-stop path pull. So we're just cranking out the mix today. It could be a six load day, who knows? Figured I'd give everybody a good chuckle. Let's just see, the hot dog plant's got a bladder control issue. I don't want to call it a bladder or a bowel, but just as I was pulling underneath the plant, it decided to take a dump on me. Well, we got 5 loads up here today. They're shutting them. Everybody told the plant to cut off at 3 o'clock. It's 3 o'clock. We're not going to make it back to the plant to grab time to grab a load. So why don't we go for a trip down Scarborough? Get that new compression brake head. Engine brake head. Assembly is what they call it, actually. All right, down here, made it down to cat just as they're getting ready to close. Yeah, this thing here is a little different than what I've got. Because on mine, these are like solid plungers. They look more like something like this here. Like that. On mine, I can literally push these up. You know, is it this one? One of these two. It's either one or both. I can push in. If you look inside, there's springs. What they think, what the mechanic I've been dealing with says, what he thinks is that it's one of the springs that broke internally on it. Yeah. Let's see here, real quick. It is $1,739.03, but I will get, it's what, 400 and something back for core. $400.09 for a core. But that's what the new one looks like. As I said before, well, I'm gonna leave it on this packet. These are the two that I changed. What I might do is I might keep those. But that's what they say the new one is. Because I'm thinking about it as okay. These are facing me as I was working on it. So yeah, it was these plungers right here. That one and that one. Morning. Well, where the rear end's leaking down here, I'm gonna have to check and possibly top off the rear end fluid level. I'm gonna do that. That little square bolt right there. I gotta take that off, remove that, and check the fluid level. What's the body look like? Looks good. Nothing really in it. And I do believe this should be, is this it? Oh, that's hydraulic oil. I got a jug in, I got a 5-gallon pail in here. Right there. 80-90 gear oil, right there. I'm gonna have to swap it out here. I got a 5-gallon pail with a hand pump on it. Get it out over here. I'll pull that drain plug out and we'll check the level. Drain plug, fill plug, there we go. What we do to check the rear end level is, of course, as I said, pull that plug out. Now I'm gonna reach down in here, stick my finger in, see if I feel any oil. I do, but it is kind of low. So we're gonna top it off. I gotta go swap out the lid on that jug with the pail with the hand pump from the hydraulic oil over to the rear end oil. I'll be right back. Okay, now I gotta take that hand pump right there. I got the fill tube in the housing and just start pumping it until I see it just start to seep out of the that hole. Once the oil starts to flow out, that's when it's full. The other thing you want to do is check the magnet for metal. That's a good clean magnet. You see, she's just starting to drool out. We throw this in and we'll continue on doing what we're going to do today. Yeah, I just noticed something a little funky, a little different. Okay. You see this right here? This is the ABS for this truck. This is the rear axle. ABS. And you see the ABS line right there. I gotta secure that one, get it up off the brake cam. Come up here. Hello. There's no ABS on this front axle, neither side. On this front drive axle. I think that's kind of weird. I gotta find the ABS controller. See where that goes. I think it's up in under here somewhere. Where is it? Oh, that's airline for the lockers. There's one backup alarm. There's the other backup alarm. That's why this thing's got 2 backup alarms on it. We're gonna head down to the shop. I want to do some investigations on this. This is the backup plug for the backup lights. See if we got power to the white one. I think the white's the ground. So what I'm gonna have to try to find out is where the backup power is. Where the backup power is. So we're gonna hook these up. As you notice, there's 2 backup lights here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These 2 in here are red. These 2 are backup. So I'm gonna put at least something on the back, because too many cars, even though I got this big sign on the back of the truck. This says construction vehicle, keep back, which also includes, basically means do not follow. We've had so many cars follow us in front of the paver. Just, what, a couple times last week, and I think just yesterday, the last load. Not the last load for me, but the last load for another driver. He had a car pull in behind him so close he did not see them. He pulled in and went to back up to the paver. The car was so close he could not see the car. So the only way that he knew the car was back there was the paving crew waved him down, told him don't back up, gotta let the car out. If you're in a car, and I'm not talking just everybody, I'm just laying this out in general, out to the public. If you're in a vehicle and you're following a dump truck or any type of construction vehicle through a construction zone, don't follow it all the way through the construction zone. Stay back, because like me, I'll be going along and then I jump out of the lane of traffic, get over into the enclosure so I can dump in the paver. So I'm just asking kindly not to follow the trucks, give us room. I'm gonna drop the body, we're gonna head down to the shop and do that. Oh, and that back rear drive is good. I checked that out. In fact, as soon as I pulled the plug out, it started to leak a little bit, so that one's full. All right, what we're gonna do here is the fittings for this hydraulics, for the wet system, for the hydraulics for the body. The fitting on the very bottom of the tank is leaking. So I gotta basically tear it apart and then reseal it. I thought, it's kind of hard to see in there. I thought I had maybe 15 or 20 gallons in here. No, it's almost half. I'm hoping these 5 buckets here will be enough to take care of the oil in that tank. I'm hoping. Now this is what I was talking about, it's leaking. It's leaking here, here, and here. So I gotta take this hose off and drain it. Close that valve right now. So I get done get everything taken care of, tore apart, then we're gonna take that off. See how loose this is? Valve is closed right now, but I'm gonna have some oil coming out of this. Actually, I better make sure the valve inside the cab is closed so I don't drain everything out of the ram. All right, now I know the valve is in neutral, is in the hold position. Nothing should be coming through that. I want this here just to be safe. Now I did what I was trying to avoid, spilling, creating a mess. I gotta rag stuff in that one. See, look how loose this is. That's why it was leaking. I gotta take all this off, reseal it. Let's start filling these things up. Well, it's off. You see it's off. I got it
Now I just gotta clean it and seal it. Put that elbow right there on it first. Get it spun around to where I want it. Then I gotta put the shut-off valve right there on. I gotta make sure it's at this angle here so I can, this angle right up here to go into this hose. So I gotta get the elbow spun around to the right spot. Hopefully the stereo in the background, I don't get a copyright strike on. Well, I got it all on. You can see I gooped the living daylights out of it. That's all nice and tight. My valve's open. But I noticed right here, there's a leak somewhere along here. Uh-oh. Ah, I bet you I gotta go through and double check all the bolts for the oil pan. That's what it looks like. Look, you got oil. I got oil drops forming on those bolts. Same thing with these ones here. So, oh yeah, look at that. I don't see anything where it's coming down the side. Well, maybe from up there. But look at the oil on this. So I am going to tighten these up. See if I can't get a little bit of a, snug them up a little bit. The other thing I noticed, this clamp right here is not the tightest. So I have no idea. I gotta go through and, again, I gotta go through this thing and just keep checking. And, bring it in, right? Heave it across the floor, shop floor. Go through and just keep checking things over. Now I got a little bit of a dilemma. Okay, hydraulic tank, empty. Yeah, there's 30 gallons sitting here. How am I gonna get it from there into there? I'll show you. However, there's one thing I got to do prior to that. I know this looks like a mongreled mess, but follow me on this. These hoses have been curled up for so long, they like to curl. So you see I got this metal pipe, the hose fed through into this waste bucket here. The reason why I'm doing that is, remember this pump? This is the pump that we use to transfer used motor oil out of that. So my idea is to use that pump to transfer it out of the buckets here into that tank. However, there's used motor oil in it. I've got 30 gallons here. I don't need 30 gallons to run that body. So what I'm gonna do is again, the hose has been curled up so long as a pain. So I just put the hose to a metal pipe so it's straight. See how it's sticking out down there? Just kind of straighten it out a little bit. Use the pump, stick it in that side. Probably pump a gallon or so through this till it starts coming out clean like this oil is out of that line, and then I'll just take that line and stick it in the tank. And he's back and the brake light's working. He must have fixed it. Giving it a little break. It's done what, 15 gallons. Probably gallon and a half before the fluid cleared out and that. Yeah, it's a slow process. I mean, this pump is not designed to pump oil. It is a water transfer pump. But again, we do what we can, use what we can to get the job done. Well, I'm just trying to pump this out. While it cools down, I might change out the, that's what I might do. I'll let that pump cool down. We'll put the new lights in the back of the truck. And then when I pull out, of course, when I put the body up, it's not gonna go up immediately like it normally does. It will take a little while for it to go up because it's gonna have air in the system. Well, let's put the two lights in right here. I'll put the two lights in with the pigtails for the backup lights. Let's pop these ones out. Shouldn't take much to pop these two out. There's this one. All right, there's the light right there. Okay. Now I gotta be careful. This one's for the backup. This one's for the regular lights. Pull this one off. You can't see, can you? Pull this plug off. Okay. That goes this way on it. There's that. Now I need to connect the pigtail up for it. Now this pigtail is going to be the one for the backup light function. I'm going to pull that paper off and plug this in the right way. Set that to the side. Let's put the emergency spare. Now that will be for that. Do the same over here. This light's got a dimly is glowing. Oh, I bet you it's because some of these newer trucks got a light that glows. I'm not wondering if this might be one of them. Don't mind me, I'm ducking underneath the spreader pan here for the body. Let's connect this one, see if it glows or turns on. Not glowing, that's a good thing. I got to pull this gasket out, grommet off. Oh. I peel that grommet off, I got to clean out around it because that light come out difficult. There's so much junk around it. Unlike this other one here that just popped right out. I'm going to take this one and clean it. Okay, I've been having too many squirrel moments. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to turn the parking lights on and a turn signal. No, stop it. And show you what they look like back here. Now I got just the right turn signal on, so you'll see what one light looks like with the parking light, one light with the turn signal. But, all right, I'm gonna cover that one up. That's what it looks like with the parking light. And that's what the one with the turn signal looks like. And there's both of them right there for you. Definitely looks different, but as I said, these two right here are backup. And I might just tap into this one this wire right here, because this goes to the backup alarm. So if I tap into that, I'll have power for the backup lights. But to do that, I gotta put the body up in the air so I can get back to the back of the body for the, well, no I don't. I don't have to put the body up. I mean, it's all right here. I don't have to go outside to do this. I can do this right here. Connect these two white wires to the ground. Two red wires for the power. As I said, I've already got a power source for the lights right here. The backup alarm. This wiring is an absolute nightmare. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go through at some point in time. Not anytime soon, but at some point in time, I'm gonna have to go through and address this wiring. All right, I don't turn you so you see. This isn't a heat shrink one, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut that out, and I'm gonna put some heat shrink on it, a heat shrink fitting butt connector, and some heat shrink on it, just to protect that. And I'm also gonna do it up here for these ones. Then ground. I gotta work on a ground. See what I can do for a ground for those two. And that noise you hear is just the pusher axle slowly dropping. Our next project is I gotta go. Oh, I can't. Oh man. Our next project was gonna be fixing that air leak up by the dryer, but the connectors I bought are in my pickup, not with me. Did real good. I pulled it so I could pull it down here to cut that, and I pulled it out. I just thought of something. I've got 2 backup alarms on this truck. One here and there's another one up there. They both work. So instead of hooking this one up, I'll just leave it disconnected and have it as a backup alarm. In case that one fails, I've got this one. This one is just obnoxiously loud. This is the backup alarm you usually hear in the videos. I think I might do that. Just leave this one as an emergency in case that one fails. That way I can take this wire and just connect it right here. Okay, I got this all heat connected, heat shrink, and then heat shrink over it. 2 grounds with the backup lights. Do I actually need them? Or will they ground through the ground already shared with that light? You know what, let's try. See what happens. Okay, there's a ground wire for those 2. Let's see. Oh, turn you. Okay, there you go. You can see there. Let's see if these work with the ground wires. The ground wire, one ground wire there, one ground wire here. Let's see if those things work without use the ground to the light itself. Nice. They're not that bad back here, but at least it's something to let cars know that I am backing up. They can see it. They get a visual and an audio notification that, hey, some dummy in a truck's backing up. Now I'm gonna step back, see what it looks like from the distance. A couple times they've told me that light is not working. A couple times this week they've told me, and every time I get out, I look, it's working. But, oh, let me grab the light out from underneath there. There we go. That's what it looks like from back here. Again, I've only got the right turn signal on only. To get a visual of the turn signal and all. I didn't bother with the backup, just annoying. I've already had one go off in my ear already last week. So let it build up the air pressure, get this up off the ground. Gonna pull it out and start cycling the body, get the air out of the system. Earlier I said that the truck had the hot top plant had a bladder control or bowel control issue where it dumped hot top all the way up the hood. You still see traces of it up there. This right here was done with the goof off. I'm going to show you something that works a lot better and it's a lot cheaper. A citrus release agent, asphalt release agent. Watch what happens. Okay, I'm going to let it set for a few minutes and watch how fast this asphalt will peel off. I let that goof off set on it for like 15 minutes. The state doesn't like us using this stuff when we're hauling hot top because it will chew it up. I mean, look how it's already starting to turn brown. I use this rag right here. Look at that. Look how quick it took it, taking it right down. See how quick it just wipes it right, pretty much just about wipes right off. This truck was originally red. Yeah, the citrus works so much better. I mean, it's like 12 or 15 bucks for that. And the citrus degreaser, this citrus asphalt remover I've got is like 5 gallons for, I think it was like $60. It's a lot cheaper. Works a whole lot better. I mean, look. She's just gentle rubs to get it off. And then what I'll do is when I get done, I'll take some glass cleaner, spray it down, and clean the rest of it off. Stuff smells good. It smells like oranges, but it is very, very aggressive on asphalt, especially when it's hot, like when it's in the trucks. It will break the asphalt down fast. That's why they don't want us using it during when we're hauling. So what I normally do is I get home at night, I'll spray the headboard down with a real gentle mist of it, so it'll work overnight, and then it mostly evaporates. Granted, it is an oil, but it still evaporates, but it'll evaporate overnight, and the next morning it generally won't stick to the head. The hot top won't stick up at the headboard. It still does, but generally it doesn't. See what I was talking about right here? I wipe all the stones off, but see how it's doing that? Let's see here. I grab this rag again, but just gently swirl it off. You can see how it's coming off. Okay, we got the hood cleaned up. Let's pull the truck out, put the body up, see what happens. I said I'm expecting it to take, it's going to be a little wonky at first. All things considered, I think it worked out pretty good. Those tail lights, those lights under the body there definitely do look different from here. Tuck the wiring up, make it a little more presentable. That way everything's taken care of here. There's that. Yeah, it's probably gonna be something I'm gonna have to do during the winter time. Back it in, take a day, clean everything up, try to clean the wiring up. Okay, before I just back the truck back inside the building here, before I take off, we need to do a brake adjustment. Paving is by far one of the, if not the hardest things on brakes on dump trucks, because we are constantly got our foot on the brake to keep us in the pavers. As the paver's pushing us down the road, we got our foot on the brake, keeping the truck in the paver. So religiously, I'm gonna try to stay up on the brakes here. So let's do a brake adjustment. I'll show you how I do them. All right, this truck also has two different sizes adjusting nuts on this for the brakes. See, this is a 7/16. This is the steer axle. So I take this one and I back it off like 3/4 of a turn. Now, when I adjust them too, I also see how far off they are. See if the slack adjusters are working the way it should. The slack adjuster is adjusting like it should be. Let's try it out. And you'll tell which direction if I'm turning in the right way or not. Okay, see, quiet, so that means I'm tightening. There's 3/4. That's a turn. About a turn and a quarter, which isn't that bad. So, right there. You hear that noise? That's it backing off. That's the locking mechanism, so it doesn't back off easy. There's that one. There's 2, 3, and I'll go just a hair. So this one's now adjusted. Okay, we'll do the same thing on this one. Okay, that's backing it off. I don't want that. I want to tighten it up. Two, 3. Yep. That one's working just fine. pusher axle. This is the one that I can pick up and down. It's only on the ground half the time. Let's okay, nope, that feels like I'm loosening it, or yeah, trying to loosen it up. Yeah, there we go. This one here, I only back off half a turn, and this one was right within it needed to be. The other thing you need to do to adjust these brakes properly is you need to make sure the brakes are released. They're not set, because if they're set, you ain't adjusting. I gotta grab the creeper and we're gonna crawl underneath and actually let's go over the other side here and do this other one. Flop it around. There you go. Yeah, that stayed right within tolerance. Quarter, half. Good, just a hair more. All right, this is a dip. This one here is the same size as the front steer axle. Be a 1/2 inch. So let's see how this one is. Okay, that's backing it off. You see the gap right here? That's a little, I think that's a little too much. We'll find out how far off it is. So there's a quarter, half, 3/4 of a turn. So no, that wasn't too bad. Now I gotta get this back on here and fight with it to back it off, because these ones are, they do like to fight. Okay, that one's taken care of. That one's good. A lot of people don't show you this stuff. I do. I don't mind showing you, just to prove to everyone that I am doing everything I can to keep this truck safe for everyone around it. All right. No, let's try to tighten it. Wow, that was close to the noggin. All right, let's see here. There's quarter, half, 3/4. Okay, yeah, that's tight. So we'll back it off the 1/2 turn. Now let's go back here. That one in the back corner is the one that one right there is the one I'm kind of concerned with. See, I was talking, this thing's got a slight leak right here. She's got a slight leak right in here somewhere. So I'm gonna have to pull like this bolt out, this bolt, same thing over here, one down below here, another one up top. Make it about 6 inches long. Have to pull the drive shaft up out of the way. Pull this back after I drain the system out. And pull it back, clean it up, and reseal it. Well, let's get back to that rear axle and see what I got to do. See how bad those brakes are. All right, let's see how bad this one is off. I gotta adjust myself here. Quarter, half, 3/4. There's a full turn. Turn and a half. Turn and 3/4. Just under 3 turns out. Makes me think this slack adjuster right here has gone bad. So now I gotta back it off. yeah, see, there's no real resistance in this one. So I'll be doing that slack adjuster soon. And they're not that bad. You got a clip right here you take off, pull this pin out, back it out, and then get it out off. However, sometimes to change these, you got to pull a tire off, because you got to pull this S-cam out. I hope that's not the case. This will be the last one. How bad is this one off? Quite a ways, considering the wrench jumped out of my hand and doesn't want to adjust it. Okay, let's see here. Quarter. Half, and it sounds like it's already starting to tighten up. Saying it doesn't need to, telling me it doesn't need to be tightened up. Yeah, not quite 3/4 of a turn. There. There's the half turn. All right, let's pull out of here and then close it up. Yeah. Speed dry an oil puddle. Oil way over here. I don't know how that got way over there, but it did. So yeah, why don't we oh, door's locked. Why don't we call it a day? So please like, share, subscribe, comment. Stay safe. I'll see you in the next one.